Julianne found me on Star Now and she contacted me about the audition, and I came to the audition for fun and I liked the audition.
A new New Zealand film that has been written by April Phillips. A historical drama, I call it. And my role was one of the central characters in the film.
Yeah, it is. You do feel a little bit nervous, but with Craig, because I'd seen him direct my theatre shows, I felt pretty comfortable that he had the same vision as me, that he was on the same page as me, and when he read my scripts he saw them the same way that I did in my head. And he was also always very open to me describing how I saw things.
The reason I wanted to be part of it is that I've long had an interest in colonial history, and I've done a couple of solo shows based around early Wellington history, so the period was very much familiar to me. Also, one of the stories was about my own ancestry, so I was very interested. And when I read the script, I discovered that the ship that the main character comes out to New Zealand in was actually one that some of my ancestors came out on as well, so I was like,
Stephen Ray and Ralph Johnson have got a lot of experience as male actors, so it'd be foolish of me not to rely on them bringing their expertise. April, as a female actor, has a huge amount of experience acting, film, stage and writing, so it'd be, once again, foolish of me to not tap into that level of experience. So no, there's no difficulty managing different people's levels. With Victoria Rose, new to film and a child, there are things that you do differently. Yeah, there are things you need to look after a child and have people to look after her as well on the set. And you need to explain probably more to, or we needed to explain, introduce her to the industry more than we did the others. But that wasn't a problem, she just took to it.
What inspired the story? The cottage, funnily enough, inspired the story. About 4 years ago, I acted in a television drama that was shot at the Colonial Cottage in Wellington, and it was a period drama, obviously, and I fell in love with the cottage, and I thought, I really want to write a film to come back and shoot here. And naively, I thought it'll be low budget because we'll just have one primary location and I'll just have a small cast. But yeah, a bit silly because obviously with a period drama you've got the whole challenge of creating 1841 New Zealand. Very, very lucky that we have an amazing team working on this film. Our creative team, Cara, wardrobe, Teo and Holly, our art department, and Sarah, our makeup artist, they really rose to the challenge, and they were really excited by the challenge of recreating colonial New Zealand. And Cara was very clear that she wanted authentic costumes for all the actors, and Teo and Holly had to source beg, borrow and steal and to create these wonderful sets. So it was the cottage that inspired the story. That was my starting point.
The things that I liked were the Maori content, the cultural side of it, set in 1841, and secondly the period drama side of things, and history. And I come from Te Atiawa, so I have a Maori background through my father's side of the family. So to bring it all together under April's writing was a brilliant opportunity.
Craig's very laid back, he's very easygoing, he's got a great sense of humour, and he was bringing that to set all the time with his quirky little comments and seeing the funny side of things. And a good example of that is on the last day of the shoot, we had a bedroom scene which was a bit tense, and it was closed set, and I think everyone was feeling a bit tense about it, and we were in one of those tiny little rooms, and it was a hot steamy day, so everyone was feeling a bit uncomfortable. And our key Grip, Brett Saunders, asked Craig if he could pull a little stunt. We were about to start the bedroom scene and they were about to call action, and all of a sudden this music started.
Let's get it on.
Here I come, honey.
Pin me down. And everybody just fell about laughing. I was in hysterics, just about fell off the bed, and it was such a great tension breaker. It was really, really funny.
I loved the end scene because I was wet, but it was also cold, very cold. I felt like crying, and I was sleepy at the time. I even fell asleep at the top of and it was cold. It was very cold, and I was scared of creepy crawlies in the bushes. I don't like bugs, except for ladybugs. But then there are men bugs, so they should be called men bugs. But I love ladybugs, but there were no ladybugs. Mostly spiders. And they did chop down little parts of trees, like branches, to get in the way for the camera. And then those big fan things to look like the wind, not the trees. Oh, that was even cold, more colder. Made me cold. But I enjoyed the ending. My favourite thing.
Yes, it's after Atafai's been thrown out and it starts raining and storming, and then they go and find Atafai outside. Well, awesome scripts have rain in them, and so we have to put a hose along a window with holes in it and make it rain. On a day like today where it's not raining, which is the one day it doesn't rain in Wellington. So we've got taped up windows to make it look like night, and then over the top of that we're pouring rain. It's quite a big impact before they go out looking for her in the storm. So.
I like the story. At the start, I would have thought Tom was a good character, but a little mean. He didn't really care about Atafai, which is what you would expect in Victorian times, but the story is very good. It's like, brings out a good motto, film about belonging.
Well, the themes, I think they're very important ones of redemption, that even though we make mistakes, we can still atone and make good. And I think that's an important, excellent story for this country, really. In a way, it's a metaphor for relations between the two races, that although we can't turn back the clock, what we can do is actually do what we can in the present to set things right.
And the main theme for the story is family and belonging. And I started out with these two characters who come together in a marriage of convenience, kind of like internet dating back in colonial times, and I was intrigued about how awkward that would be, marrying someone that you really didn't know and then getting to know them. But I wanted something more, and so the theme was what really is family and what makes you feel like you belong somewhere, and that's when I introduced the character of the